Have you ever noticed how something as simple as a kitchen staple can sometimes carry hidden risks we never think twice about? Picture this: an older gentleman named Robert, 72 years old, who has always prided himself on eating healthy. Every day, he starts his morning with oatmeal, a glass of water, and, like many of us, a generous serving of fresh raw onions in his salad at lunch. He's convinced onions are nature's medicine, loaded with antioxidants and great for the heart. But after months of feeling unusually tired, bloated, and struggling with a constant sour stomach, his doctor finally suggests that his liver enzymes are slightly off. The surprising culprit? Not alcohol, not medication, but his daily onion habit. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet, for many seniors, the foods we assume are completely harmless can sometimes become a silent strain on our bodies, especially when consumed in large amounts or prepared the wrong way. Onions, for instance, contain sulfur compounds and natural sugars that our digestive systems must process carefully. As we age, our liver function can slow down, and our ability to break down certain plant chemicals isn't quite what it used to be. This means that even healthy foods, when eaten too often or in excessive amounts, can have unintended effects on our digestion, metabolism, and overall comfort. Now, don't get me wrong, onions aren't villains. They're flavorful, full of nutrients, and part of countless delicious meals. But sometimes, the dose makes the poison. Eating them raw too often, or ignoring your body's small warning signs, might lead to discomfort or liver stress that builds quietly over time. So before we dive deeper, I want you to think about your own eating habits for a moment. How often do you include onions in your meals? Do you tend to eat them raw, cooked, or in sauces? Have you ever noticed how your body feels after a meal heavy with onions? I'd love for you to share your experiences in the comments below, because your story could help someone else realize something important about their own diet. And while you're here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Elderly Transformation Podcast, where we uncover the surprising truths behind everyday foods and how they affect your health. As we grow older, our bodies begin to process food in slower, more delicate ways, almost like a finely tuned machine that now requires gentler handling. Many people underestimate how much our digestion changes with age. Take, for example, how your stomach feels after a heavy meal these days compared to 20 years ago. What once felt like a hearty dinner might now sit uncomfortably or cause bloating, heartburn, or fatigue. This isn't just about getting older. It's about how your organs, including your liver, stomach, and intestines, adapt over time. The liver, in particular, plays a major role in filtering and breaking down everything you eat, including the sulfur and fructans found in onions. When liver cells become less efficient, certain compounds can linger longer in your system, leading to slower digestion or mild inflammation. Imagine your liver as a kitchen sponge. When it's new, it absorbs and cleans quickly, but over time, it can get saturated and take longer to do the same job. For older adults, this means even healthy foods may require moderation. Now, onions are packed with antioxidants like quercetin and other beneficial compounds, but these same substances can also challenge sensitive digestive systems if eaten too frequently or in raw form. Some people may experience gas, acid reflux, or a heavy feeling after meals that include onions, yet brush it off as normal aging or something they just have to live with. But sometimes, these subtle signs are your body's polite way of saying, "Hey, I'm working too hard right now." The key isn't to fear onions or ban them completely, but to understand how your body reacts and make adjustments accordingly. For instance, cooked onions are generally much easier to digest because heat breaks down many of the compounds that can cause irritation. Think of a caramelized onion, sweet, soft, and gentle compared to its raw, sharp cousin. Small changes like sautéing, boiling, or baking your onions can make a world of difference for your liver and digestion. It's also important to remember that every senior's body is unique. What feels fine for one person may cause discomfort for another, especially if you have underlying digestive sensitivities or mild food intolerances. So the next time you prepare a meal, take note of how your body feels afterward. That awareness alone is one of the most powerful tools for protecting your long-term health. We'll explore some of the most common mistakes seniors make when eating onions in the next segment. And trust me, the last one might surprise you, because it's something even health experts often overlook. Stick around, because this could change how you think about your healthy kitchen habits forever. One of the most common habits I see among older adults trying to eat healthy is adding raw onions to almost every meal. Maybe you slice them into salads, layer them on sandwiches, or mix them into homemade dressings because you've heard they're good for your heart and immunity. And yes, in moderation they are. But here's the catch. Eating raw onions too often can be surprisingly harsh on an aging digestive system. When onions are raw, they're loaded with strong sulfur compounds that give them that signature sharp bite and smell. These same compounds can irritate the stomach lining, trigger acid reflux, or lead to bloating, especially if your stomach acid production has naturally decreased with age, as it does for many seniors. Over time, that repeated irritation can cause inflammation that your liver and digestive organs have to work harder to manage. Let me give you an example. A listener named Carol, 68, once wrote to me saying she felt a constant burning sensation in her chest and couldn't figure out why. She avoided spicy foods, drank plenty of water, and kept her meals light. But every lunch, she topped her sandwich with a generous handful of raw red onions because she believed it would clean her blood. After 1 week of switching to cooked onions, lightly sautéed instead of raw, her symptoms nearly disappeared. It wasn't the onions themselves causing harm, it was how her body was reacting to the raw form. The same food that was once harmless can feel completely different as we get older, simply because our stomach and liver can't neutralize those compounds as efficiently. Cooking onions helps break down these volatile substances, turning them from harsh to healing. Boiled, steamed, or caramelized onions release their nutrients more gently, and their natural sugars become easier to digest. If you absolutely love the taste of raw onion, try smaller amounts or soak them in warm water for 10 minutes before eating. This can reduce their intensity and make them friendlier to your gut. These small adjustments may seem simple, but for many older adults, they can make the difference between feeling sluggish after a meal and feeling energized. Remember, eating healthily isn't just about what you eat, it's also about how you prepare it. In the next part, we'll look at another major mistake people make with onions, one that often flies under the radar but can put unnecessary strain on your liver without you even realizing it. Trust me, you'll want to hear this one. It's something that could be sitting right in your kitchen today. It's easy to think that if a little bit of something is good for us, then a lot must be even better. That's one of the most common mindsets when it comes to foods like onions. After all, they're vegetables, low in calories, high in nutrients, and praised by nutrition experts everywhere. But here's the truth many people overlook. Even healthy foods can become problematic when eaten in large quantities, especially for older adults whose metabolism and liver function have slowed down. Your liver isn't just a filter, it's like a busy factory that processes every bite you take, sorting out nutrients, neutralizing chemicals, and managing toxins. If that factory becomes overloaded, it starts to fall behind on production, and that's when discomfort, fatigue, or mild inflammation can creep in. Think about it like this. You wouldn't pour 10 gallons of water through a small funnel all at once. It would spill, overflow, and make a mess. That's exactly what happens when we overload our digestive system with too much of even a good food. Many seniors, in their effort to eat clean, end up consuming onions in every meal. Breakfast omelets, lunchtime salads, evening soups, and dinner stews. While each serving seems small, it adds up quickly. The sulfur compounds, fructans, and natural sugars in onions can accumulate, making it harder for your liver to keep up, especially if you're also managing other foods that require processing like fats, spices, or medications. Let's imagine two people, Joan, 65, and Henry, 70. Both eat balanced diets, but Joan includes onions in almost every dish because she read they help control blood pressure. Henry, on the other hand, eats them 2 or 3 times a week, usually cooked. Over time, Joan begins feeling sluggish and often complains of mild nausea in the evenings. Her doctor runs a few tests and finds her liver is slightly inflamed, not serious, but enough to warrant a closer look. When she reduces her onion intake, the symptoms start to fade. The difference isn't luck, it's moderation. So what does moderation really mean? For most seniors, it's about being mindful, not fearful. Including onions 2 or 3 times a week, preferably cooked, can provide benefits without stressing your liver or digestion. Also, combining them with fiber-rich vegetables or healthy fats like olive oil can help balance their effects. When you treat onions as part of a balanced rotation instead of a daily necessity, your body gets time to recover and maintain harmony. Sometimes the foods we've loved for decades start to make us feel unwell without any obvious reason. You might eat a dish you've enjoyed all your life and suddenly experience bloating, cramps, or fatigue afterward. It's easy to blame old age or digestion slowing down, but often there's something else at play. Mild food sensitivities. Onions, in particular, are one of the most common culprits behind hidden sensitivities in older adults. The tricky part? Most people don't realize it. Unlike allergies, which cause immediate and noticeable reactions like itching or swelling, sensitivities can be subtle and delayed. You might feel fine right after eating, but notice fatigue, mild nausea, or an upset stomach hours later. Symptoms that are easy to overlook or misinterpret. Onions contain natural sugars called fructans, which can be hard to digest for people with sensitive guts or conditions like irritable bowel tendencies. As we age, our digestive enzymes and gut bacteria change, sometimes reducing our ability to handle these sugars efficiently. Imagine your digestive system as a garden. When it's young and balanced, everything grows easily. But over time, the soil changes. Some nutrients get depleted, and it takes more care to maintain balance. If you keep feeding your garden the same strong fertilizer, like raw onions, it can eventually overwhelm the system instead of nourishing it. So how can you tell if onions might be causing trouble for you? Start by noticing patterns. Do you feel bloated, gassy, or uncomfortable after onion-heavy meals? Does your stomach feel fine when you skip them for a few days? These are your body's gentle hints. Some seniors find that switching to cooked onions, smaller portions, or even using onion powder in moderation can reduce discomfort dramatically. Others prefer swapping onions with milder alternatives like leeks, shallots, or green onions, which can be easier to digest. The key here isn't fear, it's awareness. Your body is constantly communicating through subtle signals, and paying attention to them can save you a lot of discomfort down the road. If you've ever brushed off these signs or thought, "That's just my age showing," try viewing it differently. Your body is still remarkably intelligent. It's just asking for a little more patience and gentleness. Your liver is one of the most hardworking organs in your body, yet it rarely gets the recognition it deserves. It quietly works around the clock, processing every sip, bite, and nutrient that enters your system. Think of it as your body's personal housekeeping staff, filtering toxins, managing blood sugar, breaking down fats, and storing essential vitamins. But here's what many seniors don't realize. As we age, that housekeeping staff becomes smaller and slower. The liver cells regenerate less efficiently, blood flow decreases, and it takes longer to filter out certain substances. When we eat foods that require extra work to process, like onions in excess, it's like handing an already tired cleaner an extra pile of chores. Onions contain natural sulfur compounds and flavonoids, which have wonderful antioxidant effects in moderate amounts. But when you eat too much of them, especially raw or heavily concentrated, they can create a heavier detox load for your liver. That doesn't mean onions are toxic. It simply means your liver has to invest more effort to break them down, particularly when combined with other common senior factors like medications, mild dehydration, or reduced protein intake. Over time, this added effort can contribute to sluggish digestion, fatigue, or what some describe as feeling heavy after meals. Let's consider an example. Imagine two identical twins in their 70s. Both eat healthy, walk daily, and drink plenty of water. But one loves onions and adds them to almost every dish, while the other uses them occasionally, preferring them cooked and in smaller amounts. After a few months, one twin starts noticing mild discomfort after meals, while the other feels light and energetic. It's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of how the liver balances its workload. Your liver's job isn't just to detox, it's to transform food into energy and nutrients your body can actually use. But when that balance tips toward overwork, the signs are subtle at first: slower digestion, feeling tired after eating, or mild bloating. These symptoms are easy to brush off, but they're early signals that your liver might need a break. And sometimes the solution isn't a supplement or a detox drink. It's simply giving your liver less to process. That might mean spacing out onion-heavy meals, drinking more water to support filtration, and focusing on gentle cooking methods. Here's something I often remind listeners. Your liver is incredibly resilient. It can heal, recover, and adapt when given the right conditions. So if you've been wondering whether your onion habit might be taking a toll, know this: you have the power to help your liver thrive again through small, mindful changes. In the next section, we'll explore the signs your body might be giving you when your liver feels overworked, and how to tell whether onions or other foods might be part of the problem. Most of us imagine liver problems as something that happens suddenly or only to people who drink too much alcohol. But in reality, liver strain often develops quietly and gradually. You may not feel any sharp pain or dramatic symptoms, but your body still tries to whisper clues that something isn't quite right. The tricky part is learning to listen before those whispers become shouts. Many seniors ignore these early messages because they seem harmless or unrelated to the liver. Things like constant fatigue, mild nausea, bloating after meals, or even an unusual sensitivity to smells can all be subtle signs your liver is working harder than usual. Think about how you feel after a rich or onion-heavy meal. Do you notice yourself getting sleepy faster than usual? Does your digestion seem slower or heavier? These are not random coincidences. They're your body's way of signaling that your internal systems are trying to keep up. The liver helps regulate blood sugar and break down fats, but it also filters out natural plant compounds and chemicals from foods. When it's overloaded, whether from too much raw onion, frequent fried foods, or even certain medications, it can become sluggish, leading to that slow feeling after eating. Here's a story that might sound familiar. A listener named Diane, 74, wrote in saying she'd been feeling constantly tired and slightly nauseous for weeks. Her meals were simple: oatmeal, grilled chicken, and lots of vegetables, especially onions. After discussing it with her doctor, she realized her body wasn't reacting well to the daily onion intake. When she reduced the frequency and switched to cooked onions just a few times a week, her energy began returning. Sometimes it's not what we're eating, but how often and in what form that matters most. Other small signs to look out for include mild itching without rash, darker than usual urine, or discomfort in the upper right side of your abdomen. These don't always mean liver damage, but they're worth paying attention to. especially if they appear alongside fatigue or indigestion. It's also worth noting that dehydration can make these symptoms worse, as the liver needs adequate water to flush out waste products effectively. So, if you're eating onion-rich meals but not drinking enough fluids, you might be putting even more pressure on your liver without realizing it. The good news? The liver is remarkably forgiving. When you make small positive changes, like reducing onion intake, cooking them gently, or balancing your meals with fiber and hydration, it responds quickly. Within weeks, many people notice improved digestion, better sleep, and more consistent energy levels. In the next section, we'll talk about one of the easiest and most overlooked ways to support your liver naturally, using proper cooking techniques to make foods like onions both safer and easier on your system. It's amazing how something as simple as heat can transform a food from irritating to healing. The way we cook our food often determines whether it will nourish or burden our bodies, especially as we age. Onions are a perfect example of this transformation. When raw, their sulfur compounds and natural sugars are in their most potent state, making them flavorful but sometimes harsh on an older digestive system. But when cooked, those same compounds mellow out, becoming softer, sweeter, and far easier for your body to process. Cooking breaks down the very molecules that trigger gas, bloating, or stomach discomfort, which is why many seniors who can't handle raw onions feel perfectly fine after eating cooked ones. Think about the difference between biting into a sharp, raw red onion and tasting one that's been slowly caramelized in olive oil until golden and sweet. The first can sting your eyes and linger on your breath. The second melts in your mouth and adds warmth to a meal. That change isn't just flavor, it's chemistry. The heat alters the onion's structure, converting sulfur compounds into milder forms that your liver and stomach can handle with ease. This simple cooking step can be a game changer for older adults struggling with digestive sensitivity. You don't have to become a chef to make this work. Sautéing onions gently until translucent, baking them alongside vegetables, or simmering them in soups are all great ways to preserve their nutritional benefits without the sharp aftereffects. Even microwaving onions for a few seconds before adding them to a dish can make them gentler on the stomach. A lot of seniors underestimate how powerful these small adjustments can be. If you've ever felt that onions make you tired or give you that heavy feeling after a meal, just try cooking them differently for a week. You might be surprised by how much better you feel. There's also a mental shift that comes with this awareness. Cooking transforms eating from a routine into a form of care. It reminds us that being mindful in the kitchen isn't just about flavor. It's about giving our bodies respect and kindness. Many traditional diets around the world already reflect this wisdom. In Mediterranean and Asian cuisines, onions are rarely eaten raw in large amounts. They're gently simmered, stewed, or grilled to unlock both their flavor and digestibility. It's no coincidence that people following these cooking traditions often experience fewer digestive complaints, even as they age. So, if raw onions have been giving you trouble, don't give up on them entirely. Just give them a little heat. Your liver will thank you, your stomach will relax, and you'll still enjoy all the rich flavor onions bring to your meals. Coming up next, we'll look at one of the most surprising ways onions can affect your blood sugar levels, and why this matters more for seniors than most people realize. Trust me, this is one of those aha moments you won't want to miss. Most people think of onions purely as a flavor enhancer, not something that could influence blood sugar levels. But surprisingly, onions do play a role, especially for older adults who are managing conditions like prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. You might be wondering, how can a simple vegetable like an onion affect my blood sugar? The answer lies in how onions interact with your body's metabolism. They contain natural sugars and compounds that can have both helpful and challenging effects depending on the person and how much is eaten. Here's the good news first. Onions are rich in quercetin and chromium, nutrients that can actually support insulin function and help stabilize blood sugar when eaten in reasonable amounts. That's why they often show up in heart-healthy or diabetes-friendly recipes. However, when onions are eaten excessively, especially in raw or concentrated forms like juices or powders, they can introduce more natural sugars into your diet than you might expect. For seniors whose blood sugar regulation is already delicate, this can cause small but noticeable fluctuations throughout the day. Let's say you enjoy a big salad with raw onions at lunch and have cooked onions in your soup for dinner. On paper, that might sound healthy, but for someone with slower metabolism or insulin sensitivity, those combined sugars and compounds might temporarily elevate blood glucose, leading to fatigue, brain fog, or that afternoon crash feeling. The liver plays a key role here. It helps store and release sugar into the bloodstream. When the liver is already under stress from processing sulfur compounds or medications, it may not regulate that sugar as smoothly. The result? Slightly more ups and downs in your energy and mood. Cooking, once again, makes a difference. Cooked onions release their sugars more slowly and evenly, reducing the impact on blood sugar. That's why older adults often find that meals with cooked onions feel more balanced. They provide flavor and nutrients without the energy swings. Pairing onions with high-fiber foods like leafy greens, beans, or whole grains also helps slow down sugar absorption, making your meal more liver and blood sugar friendly. It's important to note that these effects vary widely between individuals. Some seniors can eat onions daily without issue, while others notice big changes from just a small portion. The key is self-awareness and observation. Keep track of how your energy levels and digestion respond after onion-heavy meals. If you notice fatigue, jitteriness, or mental fog afterward, your body might be signaling that it needs a gentler balance. Many seniors focus on liver health and blood sugar, but digestion itself is just as important when it comes to onions. Your gut, which includes your stomach and intestines, is where all the magic of nutrient absorption happens. As we age, our digestive systems naturally slow down, meaning food stays in the stomach longer and may ferment more in the intestines. Onions, particularly raw ones, contain a type of carbohydrate called fructans. These are prebiotics that feed the good bacteria in your gut. But if eaten in excess or when your gut is sensitive, they can also cause gas, bloating, and mild discomfort. This is especially true for seniors with slower digestion or mild irritable bowel tendencies, who may notice that meals with lots of onions leave them feeling heavy or uncomfortable for hours afterward. Consider Mary, 71, who loved adding raw onions to her sandwiches and salads every day. She was health conscious, exercised regularly, and ate a variety of vegetables. Yet, she often experienced bloating and mild cramping after meals, which she dismissed as just aging. When she reduced the amount of raw onions and focused on lightly cooked versions instead, her symptoms significantly improved. She still enjoyed onions, but in a form that was gentle on her digestive system. This illustrates how small adjustments can make a big difference for seniors, without completely giving up a favorite food. Another important point is timing. Eating onions on an empty stomach or in combination with high-fat or very rich meals can exacerbate digestive issues. The liver and stomach have to work harder to process both the onions and the heavy foods, which can lead to bloating or discomfort. Pairing onions with fiber-rich vegetables or light proteins can balance this process, helping your gut handle them more efficiently. Simple strategies like these often go unnoticed, yet they are some of the most effective ways to maintain digestive comfort as we age. It's also essential to recognize that every senior's gut is unique. What causes discomfort for one person may have no effect on another. This is why paying attention to your own body's responses is key. Journaling meals, noting how you feel afterward, and experimenting with raw versus cooked onions are all practical steps to find what works best for you. The goal is not to eliminate onions, but to enjoy them safely and comfortably. Sometimes the issues we experience with onions go beyond digestion and liver strain. They may actually stem from mild allergies or sensitivities. Unlike severe allergies, which trigger obvious reactions like swelling, hives, or difficulty breathing, these mild sensitivities often show up subtly. Seniors may notice mild headaches, fatigue, stomach discomfort, or even a slightly runny nose after consuming onions. These reactions can be confusing because they are delayed or inconsistent, making it hard to pinpoint the cause. Many people simply dismiss these symptoms as getting older, when in fact, their body is trying to communicate that it's struggling with a specific food component. Onions contain natural compounds such as sulfites and fructans that can trigger reactions in sensitive individuals. For example, some people may find that eating raw onions in the morning leads to mild bloating and fatigue by lunchtime. Others may notice that cooked onions are tolerated much better. The difference comes down to how these compounds interact with your digestive system and immune response. Understanding your own body's signals is crucial, especially for seniors who may already be managing conditions like high blood pressure, mild kidney issues, or early blood sugar challenges. By paying attention to subtle reactions, you can avoid unnecessary discomfort while still enjoying a variety of foods. A practical approach is to start small. Introduce onions gradually, monitor your body's response, and adjust accordingly. For instance, if you notice mild discomfort after raw onions, try switching to cooked onions, smaller portions, or alternative vegetables like leeks or shallots. Even small changes like soaking raw onions in warm water before adding them to a salad can reduce their intensity and make them easier on your digestive system. These adjustments often allow seniors to keep onions in their diet while minimizing potential stress on the liver, gut, and overall metabolism. It's also important to remember that sensitivities can change over time. A food that once caused mild discomfort might be better tolerated after adjusting your diet, improving hydration, or incorporating gentle cooking methods. Conversely, your tolerance might decrease if you overconsume onions or pair them with other challenging foods. Being mindful, observant, and flexible with your eating habits is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to protect your health as you age. When it comes to onions, and really most foods, the age-old advice, everything in moderation, couldn't be more relevant, especially for seniors. It's easy to assume that because onions are healthy, more is better. After all, they're low in calories, rich in antioxidants, and add so much flavor to meals. But as we've discussed, the compounds in onions, sulfur compounds, fructans, and natural sugars, can be hard on digestion and liver function when consumed excessively. Portion control isn't about restriction, it's about balance. By paying attention to how much you eat at one time, you allow your body to process food efficiently without feeling overwhelmed or uncomfortable. Consider this example. John, 69, loves cooking and tends to sprinkle onions liberally into every dish. Omelets, soups, stews, and even side vegetables. While he enjoys the flavor, he noticed that by evening he often felt bloated and fatigued. When he started measuring portions and limiting onions to one small serving per meal, cooked rather than raw, the heaviness and fatigue disappeared. He still enjoyed onions, but his liver and digestive system were able to keep up with the workload. This is a perfect illustration of how a small adjustment in quantity can have a profound effect on overall well-being. Portion control is also connected to meal timing. Eating smaller amounts of onions throughout the day, rather than one large serving in a single meal, helps your liver process compounds more efficiently and reduces spikes in blood sugar or digestive stress. Pairing onions with fiber-rich foods, healthy fats, or lean proteins further aids digestion and stabilizes energy levels. Simple tools like using a tablespoon to measure chopped onions or keeping a visual guide in your kitchen can make it easier to stick to appropriate portions without feeling deprived. It's worth noting that portion needs vary from person to person. Age, digestive sensitivity, activity level, and overall diet all play a role in determining how much your body can comfortably handle. Observing how you feel after meals and adjusting accordingly is far more important than following rigid rules. The goal is to enjoy onions without overloading your system, giving your liver and gut a chance to work efficiently while still benefiting from their nutrients. Incorporating onions into your meals doesn't have to be stressful or risky, as long as you're mindful about how you do it. The key is preparation, portion, and pairing. One of the simplest strategies is to cook your onions gently, sautéing until soft. Simmering in soups, roasting, or caramelizing brings out their natural sweetness and reduces the harsh sulfur compounds that can irritate digestion or put extra strain on your liver. Even small cooking adjustments like this can make onions much easier on your system without sacrificing flavor or nutritional value. Pairing onions with other foods is equally important. Combining onions with fiber-rich vegetables like spinach, broccoli, or carrots helps slow digestion and supports gut health. Adding a small amount of healthy fat, such as olive oil or avocado, can further ease the digestive process and stabilize blood sugar. For seniors who struggle with mild liver sensitivity, spacing onion consumption throughout the week rather than eating them every day allows the body time to process and recover. Think of it as giving your liver a gentle vacation between processing days. Portion awareness also plays a major role. Instead of dumping a cup of raw onion into every dish, consider starting with a few tablespoons or a thin slice. Observe how your body reacts over the next few hours. If digestion feels comfortable, you can gradually increase the portion or enjoy it more frequently. This mindful approach allows you to enjoy the benefits of onions, antioxidants, flavonoids, and trace minerals without the unintended side effects. Another practical tip is to experiment with onion alternatives. Shallots, leeks, or green onions often can contain similar nutrients, but can be gentler on digestion. You might even rotate these with regular onions throughout the week to avoid overwhelming your liver or digestive system. The goal is balance, not restriction. By using these strategies, cooking methods, portion control, food pairing, and smart alternatives, you can continue to enjoy onions as part of a healthy, senior-friendly diet. One of the most overlooked aspects of managing digestive comfort and liver health, especially when eating foods like onions, is hydration. Water isn't just something we drink to quench thirst. It's essential for helping the liver and digestive system function efficiently. As we age, many seniors naturally drink less water, either because they feel less thirsty or to avoid frequent trips to the bathroom. However, insufficient hydration can make it harder for your liver to process sulfur compounds and natural sugars in onions, as well as slow down digestion in general. Think of water as the oil that keeps your body's machinery running smoothly. Without it, everything becomes sluggish and prone to small issues like bloating or fatigue. Imagine eating a hearty meal with onions, cooked or raw, while only having a small glass of water. Your digestive system now has to break down the food and flush compounds with minimal liquid, which can make you feel heavier or more bloated afterward. On the other hand, if you drink adequate water before, during, and after meals, you support smoother digestion and reduce the workload on your liver. Hydration also helps with nutrient absorption, ensuring your body actually benefits from the vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals found in onions. For seniors, aiming for steady water intake throughout the day, not just during meals, is key. Beyond plain water, hydration can come from soups, herbal teas, and water-rich vegetables, which also complement onions well. Pairing cooked onions with a vegetable broth in a soup, for example, provides both flavor and hydration, supporting your liver and gut simultaneously. Small daily habits like keeping a water bottle nearby, sipping between meals, and monitoring urine color for proper hydration can make a significant difference in comfort and energy levels. Finally, it's worth noting that adequate hydration also aids in regulating blood sugar levels. Because onions contain natural sugars, having enough water helps your liver and kidneys manage these compounds more effectively, preventing spikes in energy or fatigue. In combination with cooking onions gently, controlling portions, and observing your body's reactions, proper hydration creates a holistic approach to enjoying onions safely. Another often overlooked factor in digestion and liver health is when you eat, not just what you eat. As we age, our bodies benefit greatly from meal timing strategies that give the digestive system and liver adequate recovery periods. Imagine your liver as a hard-working engine. If it's constantly processing food without breaks, it can become sluggish over time. Onions, with their sulfur compounds and natural sugars, can be more taxing if consumed in large amounts at the wrong times. By spacing meals thoughtfully, and allowing at least 3 to 4 hours between heavy onion-containing meals, seniors can reduce stress on their liver and support smoother digestion. Let's consider a practical example. Margaret, 72, loves having a raw onion salad with lunch and onion soup for dinner. She noticed fatigue, bloating, and mild heartburn in the evenings. By simply adjusting her routine, having her onion salad in the morning or early afternoon, and her soup as a lighter, smaller portion for dinner, her symptoms improved dramatically. This shows how timing meals strategically can enhance comfort, improve energy, and even support better blood sugar balance. Your body needs these recovery windows, especially when eating foods that require more metabolic effort. Pairing this timing approach with previously discussed strategies, like cooking onions, moderating portions, and staying hydrated, creates a comprehensive system for supporting liver health. It's a gentle, mindful way to enjoy onions without feeling weighed down or stressed after meals. Additionally, seniors who eat earlier in the day often notice improved sleep quality and higher energy levels because the liver and digestive system aren't overworked close to bedtime. Timing also matters when considering other foods and beverages. For instance, pairing onions with high-fat or heavy meals late in the day can magnify digestive stress, while pairing them with fiber-rich vegetables earlier in the day tends to be much gentler. Experimenting with meal timing, portion size, and cooking methods can help seniors find the sweet spot for maximum enjoyment with minimal discomfort. While we focused a lot on onions, it's important to remember that your overall lifestyle plays a huge role in how your liver and digestive system handle foods. Factors like stress, sleep quality, and physical activity can dramatically affect digestion and nutrient processing. For example, stress triggers the release of hormones like cortisol, which can slow down digestion and make the body more sensitive to foods like onions. Sleep deprivation also impacts liver function, as the liver does a significant amount of its detoxification and repair work overnight. Combine that with a large serving of raw onions, and it's no wonder some seniors experience bloating, fatigue, or mild discomfort after meals. Physical activity, on the other hand, supports healthy digestion by promoting regular bowel movements and encouraging circulation, which helps the liver process compounds more efficiently. Even gentle movement like a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can help your body manage natural sugars and sulfur compounds found in onions, reducing bloating and improving energy. Many seniors underestimate how small daily habits, hydration, sleep, and light exercise can amplify or mitigate the effects of what they eat. These habits work synergistically with smart onion consumption to support overall health. Consider an example. Robert, 70, loves onions but often skips his afternoon walk and goes to bed late. He frequently experiences heaviness and discomfort after meals. Once he started walking gently after lunch and maintaining consistent sleep patterns, he noticed that the same meals caused far less digestive stress. His liver and gut were able to handle onions much more efficiently. This illustrates how lifestyle choices can either exacerbate or reduce the subtle effects of foods, and why a holistic approach to senior nutrition is so effective. Ultimately, it's about observing how your body responds to not just onions, but all aspects of your daily routine. Keeping a simple journal, tracking meals, symptoms, sleep, and activity can help identify patterns and empower you to make small adjustments that produce significant results. By pairing mindful onion consumption with healthy lifestyle habits, seniors can enjoy their favorite meals, protect their liver, and feel more energized and comfortable day to day. One of the most underestimated influences on digestion and liver health is stress. Many seniors don't realize that chronic stress can amplify the effects of foods that might otherwise be harmless, like onions. When your body is stressed, it releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can slow digestion, alter gut motility, and even influence how your liver metabolizes nutrients and toxins. This means that even a moderate amount of onions can feel heavier or cause mild discomfort if you're experiencing ongoing stress. Over time, chronic stress may subtly affect liver function and make your body less efficient at processing certain foods, which can lead to fatigue, bloating, or other digestive issues. The good news is that managing stress doesn't require major lifestyle overhauls. Simple practices such as deep breathing exercises, gentle stretching, meditation, or even short walks in nature can help calm the body's stress response. For example, taking 10 minutes after a meal to do slow, mindful breathing can reduce stomach tension and help the liver and digestive system process nutrients more effectively. Seniors who incorporate these habits often notice that their meals feel lighter and digestion improves naturally, even with foods like onions that might have previously caused discomfort. Let's look at an example. Helen, 68, loved onions but often ate them during her busy afternoons when she was rushed and stressed. She frequently felt bloated, tired, and occasionally experienced heartburn. By setting aside time to relax before and after meals, she noticed a significant improvement in her digestion. The onions no longer caused the same discomfort, and she even felt more energetic throughout the day. This demonstrates how lifestyle factors like stress management work hand in hand with smart eating habits to protect liver health and improve overall well-being. It's also worth noting that relaxation practices support blood sugar regulation and energy balance. Since onions contain natural sugars, reducing stress can help the liver and pancreas manage glucose more efficiently, preventing energy spikes or afternoon crashes. For seniors, combining stress management, proper hydration, cooked onion portions, and mindful eating creates a comprehensive strategy that addresses multiple aspects of digestive and liver health. While onions are nutritious, they are just one part of a balanced diet, and how you combine them with other foods can make a big difference in digestion and liver health. Seniors often focus on individual superfoods without considering how they interact with the rest of the meal. Pairing onions with fiber-rich vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats can improve digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce stress on the liver. For instance, mixing cooked onions with leafy greens, roasted carrots, or grilled fish creates a meal that's flavorful yet gentle on your system. These combinations help slow the release of sugars, aid nutrient absorption, and prevent the heaviness that sometimes comes with eating onions alone or in large amounts. Consider an example. George, 72, enjoyed onion-heavy dishes but often paired them with refined carbs like white bread or pasta. He noticed fatigue and bloating after these meals. When he switched to pairing onions with high-fiber grains, vegetables, and lean proteins, he felt more energetic and experienced less digestive discomfort. This demonstrates how smart combinations, rather than eliminating onions entirely, can make a significant difference. Even small adjustments like swapping refined carbs for whole grains or adding a side of steamed vegetables can reduce the burden on your liver and digestive system while still allowing you to enjoy the flavor of onions. Another helpful strategy is rotating onions with milder alternatives such as leeks, scallions, or shallots throughout the week. These vegetables offer similar nutrients but are often gentler on the gut. By diversifying your vegetable intake and not relying solely on onions for flavor or antioxidants, you create a more balanced, liver-friendly approach to eating. This also encourages variety in your diet, which is important for overall nutrient intake and long-term health. Ultimately, balance is key. Onions can be enjoyed safely when paired thoughtfully with other foods, eaten in moderation, and prepared gently. Combining these strategies with mindful portioning, proper hydration, stress management, and meal timing creates a comprehensive approach that supports digestion, liver function, and overall energy. These simple yet powerful practices allow seniors to continue enjoying onions without discomfort, maintaining both flavor and health in every meal. By now, you've heard a lot about onions, liver health, digestion, and senior nutrition. But perhaps the most important principle of all is this: listen to your body. Your body is constantly sending signals, whether it's mild bloating, fatigue, heartburn, or changes in energy levels. These signals are your most reliable guide to understanding how foods like onions affect your system. Many seniors ignore these subtle cues, dismissing them as normal aging. However, paying attention and responding appropriately can prevent discomfort, support liver function, and even improve overall vitality. Listening to your body means noticing patterns. Do certain meals leave you feeling heavy or tired? Do raw onions create more discomfort than cooked ones? Are there times of day when you tolerate onions better than others? Keeping a simple journal of meals, portions, preparation methods, and resulting energy levels can be incredibly revealing. For example, Margaret, 70, discovered that she could enjoy a small portion of sautéed onions for lunch without any issues, but the same amount in a raw salad at dinner caused bloating. By adjusting her habits according to these observations, she not only avoided discomfort but also maintained her enjoyment of food. Another key aspect is giving your liver and digestive system time to recover. This might mean spacing meals, drinking plenty of water, and incorporating a variety of vegetables to reduce over-reliance on onions. Remember, moderation isn't restriction. It's respect for your body's limits and rhythms. Pairing this awareness with lifestyle factors like stress management, gentle exercise, and proper sleep amplifies the benefits, creating a holistic approach to senior nutrition that goes beyond any single food item. Listening to your body also helps you personalize your diet. While general guidelines are helpful, everyone's tolerance and digestive capacity are unique. Experimenting with small adjustments, cooked versus raw onions, portion sizes, meal timing, and combinations with other foods empowers you to make choices that feel right for your health. The goal isn't perfection, it's balance, comfort, and sustained vitality. As we wrap up today's episode, let's take a moment to review the most important lessons about onions, liver health, and senior nutrition. First, moderation is crucial. Even healthy foods like onions can become overwhelming if consumed in large quantities, especially for seniors with slower digestion or sensitive livers. Second, cooking transforms onions from harsh to gentle, making them easier to digest and allowing your liver to process nutrients without stress. Simple techniques like sautéing, roasting, or simmering can make a huge difference in comfort and flavor. Third, pay attention to your body. Subtle signals such as bloating, fatigue, or mild discomfort are clues that your liver or gut may need a break. Keeping a journal of meals, portion sizes, preparation methods, and your reactions helps you identify patterns and make informed choices. Fourth, timing matters. Spacing meals thoughtfully and pairing onions with fiber-rich vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats reduces digestive stress and supports stable blood sugar levels. Fifth, lifestyle factors. Hydration, gentle exercise, stress management, and quality sleep work synergistically to enhance digestion and liver function. Even small adjustments in these areas can amplify the benefits of mindful onion consumption. Finally, variety is key. Rotating onions with milder alternatives like leeks, shallots, or scallions ensures you enjoy nutrients without overloading your system. Combining moderation, smart cooking, balanced meal pairing, proper hydration, and attentive listening to your body creates a comprehensive, practical approach to senior nutrition. These strategies empower you to enjoy the flavors you love while protecting your liver and digestive health. Remember, your body is your most reliable guide. By observing how it responds and making small, mindful changes, you can continue to enjoy onions and other foods safely and comfortably. And as always, this advice is general in nature. Please consult your doctor or pharmacist for guidance tailored to your personal health needs.